Hey guys, Brandon here with Greenfin Farms. We're at the small market garden of one of our colleagues that we've set up over the course of, I'd say, about a month. We unfortunately didn't catalog building it, but we're happy to show you around. We're going to be testing out the JANG seeder version 1 with a single wheel. And given the size of the garden, we're pretty confident that should be enough. We don't really need a 3-wheel or 5-wheel one just yet. So we're going to show you how to use it, how to set it up, and then we're going to test it out in this intensive clay soil. So let's check it out. Alright, so here we are with our JANG seeder. We're going to be planting some Red Ace hybrid brown red beets. And for these beets, you're going to need an LJ12 roller. You can find out which ones you need on the website. They have a spreadsheet. They have the kinds of seeds you can plant on each roller page. Should be pretty easy to find. So the first thing you want to do is when you get your JANG seeder out, something that you might not hear, but I had to do, was I had to make sure this back wheel could spin freely. When we got it, this guard was pushed in too far and this thing just kind of stayed stationary. So make sure your back wheel is moving before you even get started. So first thing you want to do is a lever back here. To show you this lever here, you're going to push that and lift that out just like that. So your wheel is going to go inside this compartment right here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pull this pin out, or push it out, like that. And that'll pull out the sprocket on the other side. Then you're going to want to unscrew the assembly, or the screw that holds these together. Open her up. Take your wheel, doesn't matter which way in you put it, it's a circle, no big deal. Then you're going to want to make sure that you put the sprocket on the correct side. This is going to go in the back, so the sprocket has to go on this side because the chain is right here. So when you set it down, this thing has to be able to move with the chain. Go ahead and reattach. Screw this back in. And then slide this into place. Push the lever again. And there you go. We got our wheel in now. These beets need 2 inches of spacing when planting them intensively. So here we have our spacing chart. Make sure I don't lose the washers either. So in this spacing chart, we're using a 12-hole roller. And so for 2 inches of spacing, we're going to need a 9 and a 14. So 9 on the rear wheel, which is this guy, and a 14 on the front wheel, which is this big guy right here. So both of these are currently set up for a different configuration. So what you're going to want to do is you're just going to pull these out. This is an 11. This one's a 13. We need a 9 and a 14. So you're going to notice that on the back here is where you keep your spare wheels, your spare sprockets rather. So we're looking for 9. Here she is. And 14. Just so you don't lose anything, I'd recommend you just put them right back on. And go ahead and close her up. So we need 9 in the rear, 14 in the front. Here's our front. I'm going to take this. Make sure each tooth is hooked into the chain. Feels a bit like working on a bicycle, doesn't it? Also make sure that the chain can freely move over this here. It's gonna gets a little messy, a little tricky. And then here's our knot. Boom, just like that. So you rotate the chain, make sure it's not loose. Oh, look at that. See, we've already got a little bit of an issue. Okay. If it's doing that, go ahead and lift out your rear wheel. Run both of these over this top here. There we go. No problems. Cover her back up. Don't forget your washers. I just realized a little off center there. Give me 10-inch. You can kind of see that with all the prep work involved, why some farmers would opt to use a JANG seeder for larger operations. Because if you're setting this up for just one row in a bed, then it's a lot of work to move between seed varieties. All right, so we're all ready to go. And pop the lid off this guy. And get our beets. Fill her up. Not all the way, I don't need to, but you could just fill it all the way up and then dump out what's left. So there we go. Actually, you know what? This is going to be 150 beets, so why don't we go ahead and just top it off. And then we can dump out what's left later back into the packet. Not going to hurt a thing. All right. Our JANG seeder's loaded up, ready to go. So let's give it a try. Just going to give you guys an overview of what we were up to. This backyard used to be 100% weeds, except for the box planters here with the herbs and the kale and the rosemary. But we've cleared the ground, we put down mulch in the border areas. Here you can see we've got our drip system for the plants that don't need as much water, or the ones that are more spaced out rather. And then as you go through, here's our horizontal rows, our sprinkler head, and then we have our vertical rows here with the sprinkler head. It's a little tight just because these sprinklers are kind of meant to throw water a little further than the rows are, so we do get some splash on the fence. We might have to go ahead and put up some corrugated metal to deal with the splash. But for where they're at, these basically cover the entire area over there, and the sprinkler here covers this entire area here, which is fantastic. I love having just two sprinklers irrigate the entire backyard. It's only in October, like mid-October, so I think today's the 14th. Yeah, October 14th. So we've only planted garlic here in these rows, and then some Swiss chard in these rows here, and then we'll be planting our beets all the way over there on the far end, and then we're doing spinach and lettuce. The ground has been amended. The whole yard was amended actually with about 10 cubic yards of compost. That was a very intensive process, but it's still pretty hard and compact. So we're going to see how well the JANG moves through it. So let's check it out. All right, here we are. Make sure you guys can see everything to the camera. Yep. All right, here's our rows. So what you want to do is you want to kind of set the plow a little off. Don't start right in the middle, kind of start off a little bit, so you make sure you get your beet seeds in the row. You're going to want to stay nice and straight. And then, I don't know if you can see, but I got the handle a little offset, so I don't have to walk on the bed. And we're going to go ahead and just go straight down here, keep it nice and straight, nice and tight, and we're going to see how it digs through the soil. So let's take a look. dicey around here, but all the way to the end. That took like what? 15 seconds? 10 seconds? That's 150 beet seeds. Nice. Here we go again, guys. Spinach right next to the row. You can see it really clearly. And we're going to make sure we don't step on anything. All right, so here we go. Got to offset just a little bit. And with our fresh seeds in the ground, it's time to run the sprinkler, get it nice and soaked. I've got it on a timer. It should kick on in the morning every day, but obviously I didn't turn it on today because I needed to plant. So you can see we've got good coverage. In about 10-15 minutes, this whole area should be soaked, and then it'll keep running and making sure we get the soil nice and wet. So I will check back in a few weeks, and we're going to see how everything did. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. Hopefully it was informative, and hopefully it gave you some insight to what we are up to at Greenfin. We haven't been at the market recently, but we've been trying some new things. This is just one of many projects that we have coming down the pipe. So stay tuned later for an aquaponics system we're building for a school, and then we'll also provide regular updates on the farm here, so that you can get some tips on maybe how to plant, how to grow stuff in your area for small farms, small gardens. I know the equipment is kind of pricey for what we're doing, but we like to kind of test everything out and then see if we can scale up from there. So hopefully you found this informative and enjoyable. So we'll see you guys next time.